What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, please do subscribe to my channel. Remember, we are going to be going daily with Manchester City transfer updates from January 1st to keep you guys up to date throughout the winter January transfer window, which could just end up being quite busy for Manchester City. It is free to subscribe, so don't forget to press that red button. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description. My Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 200 likes is the aim, and do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. We've got a lot to get through, so we're just going to dive right in. We're going to start off with a bit of contract news, and we've got the very latest on Julian Alvarez. Now, he signed a new deal at Manchester City back in March of this year, and Fabrizio Romano has given a little bit of an update about that contract and things that are happening in the background right now when it comes to Julian Alvarez. And a lot of things were depending on him signing the contract, was guaranteed playing time and how City were going to make him work, with obviously bringing in Erling Haaland. And Manchester City since then, and him signing a new deal, have found a way to make Julian Alvarez a regular first team starter, and because of that there is no talk right now of him joining the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, etc, etc. Julian Alvarez signed that deal back in March because he's happy at Manchester City. He wants to stay at Manchester City. That was the stance back in March, according to Fabrizio Romano, and that is the same stance that's taking place right now. And Manchester City are not expecting to receive any offers for Julian Alvarez in the upcoming transfer market for the winter window, nor are they expecting to receive any offers next summer either, which is excellent news, and I thought worthy of just popping a little note into this video. Now, moving on to the out, Joao Cancelo, pretty interesting this one. Now, Barcelona, they've loaned him, of course, back in the summer. There's no option to buy for them next summer, but they are interested in taking him away from Manchester City on a permanent basis. They do want to sign him. Now, Manchester City's current value on Joao Cancelo stands at 50 million euros. Barcelona aren't willing to pay that. They're only willing to go up to 25 million euros, and it's believed that Manchester City aren't really willing to negotiate that price. Barcelona aren't willing to budge on their value as well, and so they put the ball into Joao Cancelo's camp, and I presume he's pretty happy at Barcelona because Cancelo has said that he wants the Barcelona move, and he's prepared to be stubborn to try and force this move through to Barcelona next summer. Now, to me, it's a rather simple transfer. Joao Cancelo is a Manchester City player. He's still got plenty of time left on his contract, regardless of how he performs at Barcelona. Manchester City, at the end of the day, hold the value for the player. The player is a player of our club, so if Barcelona want to sign him, they have to negotiate and they have to agree that fee. Now, if we're looking at half the price of our value, I'd quite simply tell Barcelona the answer is no, and we're seeking a permanent transfer for him to go elsewhere. And I expressed my thoughts about this back in the summer, and I'm going to express the same thoughts now, that if Manchester City are struggling to find a buyer for Joao Cancelo, simply offer him to Saudi Arabia. He's a top-class fullback. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Saudi Arabian clubs very interested in Joao Cancelo who'd be more than happy to negotiate that fee and get close to Man City's value of 50 million euros, and that may then just force Barcelona's hand. And if Cancelo wants his move to Barcelona and Barcelona want to sign Joao Cancelo, then the option would be, if you can't force that move, you go to Saudi Arabia or you're right in Manchester City's reserves. Rather simple. Now, moving on to the ins. The very latest on Maatsen, plays for Chelsea, was linked with Manchester City a few weeks ago. Now, Chelsea have activated a clause in his contract, so he has signed an automatic one-year extension. His contract was due to expire next summer. His contract now will expire in the summer of 2025 rather than the summer of 2024. Chelsea are working to try and get a longer deal secured. It is believed that if Chelsea cannot get him on a new deal, they will at some point in 2024, more than likely next summer, will seek to try and sell Maatsen if he won't agree a new long-term deal. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. Remember, Maatsen is a Dutch 21-year-old left-back. Manchester City are believed to be closing in on the signing of Valentin Barco, which makes this Ian Maatsen transfer a bit, well, redundant. However, if City don't make Valentin Barco happen, then City clearly having a look at left-sided fullbacks and young players when it comes to that as well. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Kaoru Mitoma over at Brighton and Hove Albion. Target for Manchester City. He was linked in the summer. He's now signed a new deal at Brighton until 2027. Adds more value onto his price. Gives Brighton more leverage when it comes to negotiating a transfer for him. And I'm not aware that there's any release clause included in this deal as well. It means that if Man City do want to sign Mitoma at any point in the next 12 months, it's going to be a very, very, very expensive deal. And Brighton drive a really hard bargain, so that may just be something that Man City choose to move to the back burner, so to speak. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Lucas Paqueta over at West Ham United, and Jacque Talbot on Twitter has said that Manchester City remain keen on Lucas Paqueta. He's not the first journalist to report this. I've heard several sources saying the same thing. Man City still very much interested in Lucas Paqueta. They're not too happy about these betting allegations and these charges that potentially could rise for Lucas Paqueta, so they want him to clear his name. Once he's cleared his name, Manchester City are hoping to make a move and make that deal happen. It's believed, in terms of the time frame, Man City looking at next year, I believe the summer rather than the winter is what we're looking at when it comes to Lucas Paqueta. So we'll see what happens with there. Of course, he's not the only player having gambling allegations chucked out to him. Seems to be quite rife when it comes to top-class Premier League players at this moment in time. Paqueta's name being put out there. Of course, we've already seen what's happened to Ivan Toney. Sandro Tonali seems to be going the same way as well. So Man City just wanting to stay clear of that until these charges have been either sorted or dropped and move on from there. Now moving on to the final transfer, and this is potentially one of the most interesting stories that I've come across in months, and it comes in the form of a new name, and it's, I'm not aware, a player that's been linked with Manchester City recently, Toni Kroos over at Real Madrid, and it sounds a bit almost make-believe, football manager-like, but Defensa Central over in Spain, and it's been reported via The Sun here in the UK as well, have said that Manchester City are interested in signing Toni Kroos from Real Madrid. He's out of contract there next summer, and Manchester City believe that they can get an agreement in place with the player to make a transfer happen. Now, it's a bit unclear as to whether Man City want to make a move in this upcoming winter window, or whether we just want to get a pre-agreement in place for him to sign for Manchester City. City can open talks officially with Toni Kroos if he doesn't sign a new deal in February to get a pre-contract agreement in place for him to join in the summer. However, with Kalvin Phillips believed to be leaving Manchester City, Manchester City could choose to dip into the market. Toni Kroos, contract up in the summer. Real Madrid may be willing to sell for a small fee as well. Manchester City believed to be willing to offer Toni Kroos £13 million a year. I don't think City will be willing to offer him too long of a contract, 12 months, maybe 24 months, maybe 12 months with the option of an extra year or something, a contract running until 2025 at the very max, 2026. We'll have to wait and see, but it's certainly something that could be sorted in the January winter transfer window, and that's why I'm saying that Man City could well be active in this window. Valentin Barco, a player City keeping an eye on, and if Kalvin Phillips leaves, we're short of one midfielder at this moment in time in our already stretched thin squad, so it wouldn't make sense to let Kalvin Phillips leave unless we're planning to bring somebody else in as well. And Toni Kroos being affordable and of course an experienced player, that is a deal and a transfer, in my opinion, that would make sense. Would love to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. As I said, it does feel a little bit football manager. It's not really how Manchester City do their deals, but Man City can't really be choosers when it comes to their midfield, because Kevin De Bruyne out injured. We're looking to add class. You've got class available here, albeit a player that's aging and getting no younger at 34 years old in January. But if we're letting Kalvin Phillips leave and you're wanting to bring somebody in who can perform at a top level, then to me, this is could be a shrewd bit of business by Manchester City, in my complete honest opinion. Whether you think it's going to happen or not, or whether it does actually happen or not, is a completely different story, but we'll have to wait and see. And as I said, it's been reported out there, so we'd love to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. So that has been today's transfer update. Thank you everybody for watching, much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up, 200 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next Manchester City video, which will be a preview of Manchester City's Champions League away away match in Switzerland, where we'll be taking on BSC Young Boys. So I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.